Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am here. I'm here to talk the NFL. I'm not going to like it, but I got to take my medicine. The Playmakers Vlog Podcast. You know me, the Playmaker down there, Silence. You know my co-host, who's going to enjoy this very much, Dallas Glenn.
Oh, well, come on, man. Don't be like that. Don't be like that. Come on, man. You be better than this, Darnell. You can't be in the playoffs every year for the past 3 years. You can't have just appeared in a Super Bowl. Did you really think you were going 16 and put yourself? Did you really think you were going 16?
We're going to get to that later because we got other stuff to get into. We're going to talk about Dallas Jaguars yet again. We're going to get into our topic of the day. It's probably been I think it's been the topic of the day for the past 3 weeks. To show you how interesting it's being.
Yeah, and how relevant it's been.
As before mentioned, we're going to get into my Rams. And we're going to pick some games for the upcoming week. Without further ado, Mr. Glenn, as always, go ahead and get us started.
Well, I mean, if you paid attention to the Jaguars in 2017 and had the unfortunate responsibility to be a fan of them in 2018, you would have noticed that the Denver win, that's right, I said the Denver win, because if you guys stopped paying attention to the ticker in the first half, you missed a hell of a barn burner. The Jacksonville Jaguars scored points, and the Jacksonville Jaguars allowed points. The Jacksonville Jaguars did what the Jacksonville Jaguars do, and they let the other team rush right down the field with the quickness, thanks to Todd Walsh's zone scheme that is supposed to be from Seattle, but does not have Seattle's personnel. And in a very weird turn of events, the 6th-round rookie quarterback, first play of the drive, gets hit right in the knees, but limps on down in Brett Favre fashion, drawing a roughing the passer penalty, hitting a nice out to Chris Conley, setting it up for a game-winning field goal by Josh Lambo, who hasn't missed a kick yet this season, and 22-mile-per-hour winds. Darnell, the Jacksonville Jaguars even did that old thing where everything's going right, then an offensive lineman tries to F it up for everybody. Cam Robinson tried his damnedest to get an unnecessary roughness penalty or unsportsmanlike conduct. He tried his hardest, and the entire team, maybe even Keenan McCardell too, had to stop him from hurting himself and the team. It was weird, to say the least. I am still elated. I'm still excited. I'm still overjoyed because, hey.
That's not even the best part of the whole darn thing.
There's so
ladies and gentlemen, as you can hear the voice in Dallas Glenn, he's very happy. Just like all the Jacksonville Jaguar fans that I happen to stay in this city of are very happy. Jacksonville's winning. Gardner Minshew is taking over the city. But you go outside of Jacksonville. Tennessee woke up and beat the goddamn Falcons. Just when you started to believe that Tennessee's going down and Atlanta's coming up, it also just reversed all of a sudden.
Well, hold on. I'm going to stop you there just like you stopped me. First of all, nobody believed Atlanta was coming up. That is revisionist history. You're better than that. Be a journalist and not a media personality. Nobody believed Atlanta was coming up. If anything, that was a get-back-right game for Tennessee, which they took advantage of.
Even more shocking news, another quarterback we're going to get into when we get to our topic of the day, decided to outdo my boy, Deshaun Watson in Houston.
Well, these things happen. These things happen, Darnell.
That is not the biggest one of all. Somehow, some way, that darn John Gruden went to Indianapolis and beat the Colts. Beat them silly. You looked at the box score and your mouth dropped when you seen the score. What in the blue hell is going on in Indianapolis?
Well, they lost their franchise quarterback due to retirement, Darnell. That's a pretty simple answer to your question.
And before you know it, Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts, Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Tennessee Titans all 2-2.
There's a tie at the top of the AFC South. Darnell, that is...
You're telling me this division can go either which way, no matter what, for the next 12 weeks? Andrew Luck retired before the season started. Everybody said, oh, that's it for the Colts. So pretty much we're looking at Tennessee, Houston. Some people were speaking of Jacksonville.
No.
Because they did have a Super Bowl MVP quarterback, so we had to give Jacksonville respect. And the defense. Nick Foles get hurt, the first quarter of the game?
Yep.
He's done. Kansas City put a beating on them like no other team has. You're looking at Jacksonville like, where do they go from here? Tennessee went to Cleveland and put a beating on them, and everybody was on the Cleveland bandwagon. It's like, wow, really look out for Tennessee. Houston lost to New Orleans, but when you watch that game, you're just like, yeah, you might have lost to New Orleans, but hey, that's the team that we was looking for. That's the team we was looking for right there. We come back in week 2. The Colts continue to beat on Tennessee. You guys, y'all play Houston in week 2, right?
Yep.
Y'all play Houston in week 2, Gardner Minshew's first game. Not too much to look into, like, y'all in Houston. Houston, their team is pretty much healthy. Y'all just lost y'all starting quarterback, and we'll let that one go. So Houston got one up on Jacksonville, but we understand the situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
We go to week 3. Oh, faithful week 3. The game that that was already circled. What is y'all going to do to Tennessee? Well, pretty much the question is, what was Tennessee going to do to y'all or continue to do? Oh, none of that happened. Jacksonville did it. Tennessee this time. And most of us sat there and wondered, like, because he got sacked how many times?
9.
Now they are missing Taylor Lewan, but still, all 9 sacks that come from that side. So you're looking at that. I forgot who Houston played in week 3. Who did Houston play in week 3? Houston played I'm looking at it right now.
They played Los Angeles.
They played Los Angeles. They went there and won. I think I picked Houston for that game. We both picked Houston to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
They did. A great game. And then they did. Indianapolis, they played where is Indianapolis at? They played the Falcons. And we both picked the Falcons.
Yeah.
And they stunk up the joint. And then we get back to last week, as we just said. Atlanta's 0-2 against the AFC South already.
Rough season. If you can't beat the AFC South, who can you beat?
Carolina caught Houston. And the Jazz went to the West and did a comeback and did it. Gardner Minshew has a game-winning drive.
In altitude, on the road.
The AFC South, ladies and gentlemen, what can you do with it?
It's the division that's not supposed to be competitive outside itself, yet it is completely inept inside of itself.
So nobody's picks is out the door. Nobody should feel bad because it's like y'all got 12 weeks to fight this out.
The first quarter of the season, it's weird because the AFC South, even though it's like the 7-9 Seahawks here in the NFC West, for the most part, the AFC South has been considered a laughingstock of the NFL. Recently, because I think 2009 is the last time you have an AFC South team that went to the Super Bowl. Texans haven't had an appearance of franchise history. Jags haven't had an appearance of franchise history. And the Titans, we remember what happened last time the Titans were in the Super Bowl. So, hey, what can you do? So, dude, like,
that'll be the only giggle y'all get from me for the rest of this episode.
I gave you your shot. Don't say I didn't never give you nothing. But, there's only been one team that's been competitive, and that team just so happened to have maybe the greatest regular season quarterback of all time. But then by the time Drew Brees gets done slinging that rock and hurting that shoulder, you don't know. But, I mean, dude, this division's been a laughing stock. 3 franchises haven't been to the Super Bowl in forever, and all the good stuff. But I still think that people had Houston as the standard bearer of this division. And I think after week 1, people looked at Tennessee like, holy crap. If Marcus Mariota can just be an elite game manager, if Marcus Mariota can just be Alex Smith, what can this defense or running game do? Now we're at the first month of the season, and it's like, there's no bottom feeder, Darnell. I mean, Gardner Minshew's dealing with a knee injury because of that, game-winning drive. This might leave the potential for Gardner to be banged up himself.
On a side note, Bradley Chubb is done for the season. ACL injury against the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, for all the Patriots haters out there, Stephen Kukowski is having season-ending hip surgery. So that means them game-winning field goals are going to come from somewhere, but not him. So big injuries in the AFC. New England struggling on offense. But to get back to the point, though, Darnell, Gardner Minshew's dealing with a knee injury. He's a 6th-round rookie. Nick Foles can come back. You can have a division where it's Nick Foles, Marcus Mariota, Deshaun Watson, and Jacoby Brissett. I picked Deshaun Watson out of those 4, but I mean, one of those guys have won a Super Bowl MVP.
Oh, I picked Deshaun Watson like I did last year, Joe.
I mean, he came through for you last year until the playoffs happened.
What? I can only do is pick. That's all I can do. So, as we transition, because we already talked about Gardner Minshew, do you have his stats from that different game?
I haven't remembered, but I could pull him up.
So, we're going to switch into our topic of the day, and I did a Facebook poll because I didn't know what topic. It was so many headlines out there after week 4 Dallas, out of the quarter of the season. It was so many headlines. So I went to Facebook. I say, y'all choosing, and we'll talk about it. The winner was the backup quarterbacks. So yet again, we're going to continue talking about the backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So it's only fitting that we're going to finish off talking about Gardner Minshew.
But see, and here's the thing, Gardner Minshew had a very good day. The thing that people have to remember about the Jacksonville Jaguars is this isn't John DeFilippo's Philadelphia offense. You got a 6th-round rookie in here. This is basically a power running West Coast. With that, though, this is the 4th straight game in a row the rookie has tossed at least a tub in 200 yards. 19 for 33, 213 yards, 2 touchdowns, a game-winning comeback drive. I mean, he's nominated for Pepsi Rookie of the Week again. I think he got nominated for Rookie of the Month. I mean, he's already won 2 out of the 3 Rookie of the Month. It's going to be an interesting situation because you got Kyler Murray. Cliff Kingsbury is going to get that young man killed. Gardner Minshew was in a situation where it's like this team wants to run the ball. This team has invested in the offensive line. They have Will Richardson that they developed. They drafted Cam Robinson in the 2nd round, but trying to get him healthy. Paid Norwell, paid Linder, back O'Shaughnessy, a blocking tight end who's been helping Gardner Minshew in the passing game, has 2 touchdowns this season. Out of all the rookie quarterbacks, it's unfair because this is the one team where it's like, hey, we didn't draft you to save our franchise after we go 0-2. We drafted you just to be QB2. We drafted you for a couple of drives. We drafted you for maybe a game. We didn't draft you for half of the damn season. So he's really benefiting out of all of the quarterbacks, Darnell, because he's really in the situation where it's like this team wants to be 1980s. John DeFilippo has bought into Leonard Fournette being a feature back and running him like there is no tomorrow.
By the way, who ran for over 200 yards?
Well, 225. 29 for 225. Yeah, he did his thing. He was there.
Daniel Jones, who people are calling Daniel Dime. Now, to be fair, it was against the Washington Redskins, who finally had to put in Dwayne Haskins because Case Keenum got beaten up and made more turnovers.
Which is a perfect example of the point I was just making. Those are 2 quarterbacks where it's like, Dwayne Haskins is going to be labeled as a bust because Jay Gruden's trying to save his job, saying, look, I'm looking towards the future. And Daniel Jones is like, whoa.
I'll listen to the first take and listen to Ryan Clark, who was a former Washington Redskin before he retired. He's saying that Dwayne Haskins was not part of the plan when they drafted
Oh
him.
no, that was Dan Snyder's thing.
So pretty much we doing another Robert Griffin III type deal. Only difference is Dwayne Haskins ain't starting because Colt McCoy might be back. But anyway, back to Mr. Daniel Jones for the New York Giants, who started 2 straight games and got 2 straight victories, should I say. The young man is 2-0 as a starter. 23-31, 225, only 1 touchdown. But hey, that's against the Redskins. They won 24-3, so
Threw 2 picks against the Washington Redskins defense. I mean, he's a rookie. Those things happen. You expect your rookies, who are basically trying to be franchise savers, to throw some picks because you got to throw it up. But,
Now, Giants fan, hold your horses. I know what y'all saying. Dallas, somebody might be pulling the John Cena off here. Because guess who's back at practice doing cuts and drills all of a sudden?
Who?
Saquon Barkley. He's back cutting around already.
Ooh.
So he's ahead of schedule. They say he might be back before the New England game.
Ooh.
So Daniel Jones, keep doing your thing, sir. Enjoy your rookie season.
Dude, the way this season is shaking out, 2-2 is a good record to have coming out of September. They have just as much of a shot as anybody else.
Now, I don't say this a couple of times already. Kyle Allen outdoed Deshaun Watson in Deshaun Watson's house without throwing a touchdown. 24 for 34, 232.
And that's the kind of thing where
It's ridiculous.
What's been happening with the Houston Texans, I'm not gonna blame it on JJ Watt, but I am worried from a team perspective because you have a Jaguars team that just gets annihilated and loses their franchise quarterback in the first damn quarter of the season. They almost come back if they don't go for 2 and they stay conservative and try to use momentum in halftime. Go to Los Angeles, you do some stuff, but I mean, who isn't hurt on the Chargers? Then you have a rookie backup come in. Well, he's not a rookie. Will Greer is actually the rookie. I didn't know Kyle Allen was even on the roster before the season started. But he goes in, doesn't even throw a touchdown.
You might as well call him a rookie.
Nah, because we didn't call Patrick Mahomes a rookie. It's not the NBA. We don't do that here. But, so it's that team. The problem with the Texans is, Bill O'Brien, what the hell are you doing? I mean, closing out games, getting stuff done. I mean, Saints lose by 2. Last second field goal from like a mile away. Jaguars go for 2, win the game for you because they called a dive at a shotgun. Chargers, you win by 1 touchdown. Panthers, you can't get going. And then, fabulous answer, by the way. People are getting butthurt on Twitter. Deshaun Watson answered that question by the reporter as detailed as possible. People want to say that he was trying to show up the reporter, but he was giving a very detailed answer that unfortunately anybody who covers football and plays the game of Madden on a regular basis should know. But either way, Deshaun Watson is not the problem here. But I worry because it's bro, it's the NFL. In the Big 12, if the Big 12 can't spit out anything, it's a cornerback. So teams are going to keep drafting corners and safeties until they get it right, Darnell. They're going to keep signing veterans who know how to use those old man tricks in zone coverage till they get it right, Darnell. And people besides Hopkins are going to have to step up, bro. Because Kyle Allen threw for 232 and nada and nothing. And Christian McCaffrey went out there and had himself 150 all-purpose yards in a tub off of 37 carries. You know who the ball is going to, Darnell.
37 touches.
Yeah, touches. You're right. 27 carries, 10 receptions. My bad. But still, you know who the ball is going to. He had 5 more receptions than the next closest receiver and 26 more carries than the next closest running back.
And you know what? I take that back. Y'all might get a laugh out of me. Actually, no, I take that back because I picked the damn Cowboys to win the game. And yet again, the Saints defense showed
The Saints have one of the best rushing defenses in the NFL. I tried to tell people, if you force the ball to Thomas and Kamara and rely on that run defense, you'll win a couple of games in the NFC, which is running back heavy.
That is the two games we was looking at them losing without Drew Brees. They won. The exact two games we was looking at them losing, they won. They went to Seattle and beat Seattle, and they just beat
That makes
Cowboys.
me worry personally because Lord, they're basically doing what I said to do. After I'm not taking credit for this, but after the LA game, it was pretty obvious what they were going to have to do. You just paid one guy $100 million, and this other guy is like a superstar. You know, all the Madden attention and offseason attention and everything. And what do? Michael Thomas, 9 for 95. Alvin Kamara, 17 carries for 69. Nice. And 3 catches for 20. So, use your weapons, man. It's a defensive struggle. Get those first downs, eat that clock, kick some field goals. And that's what Teddy Bridgewater did. We have to remember, this man did start an entire season where the Vikings ended up in the playoffs, as first as it was. This man has been a starting quarterback for a team that made it to the playoffs. That being said, he's no Drew Brees, but Darnell, the 2 games they were supposed to lose, they won.
I'm going to tell you this right now before we transition. The NFC effed up. Because the only team that's undefeated in the NFC, they won't be undefeated much longer. I guarantee you that. The San Francisco 49ers.
Yo, hating that.
And New Orleans Saints is 3-1.
No, see, you talk about the NFC didn't do their job. Dude, stop hating in your division for a second. Dude, the entire NFC had the Cowboys dead to rights. You got 2 Super Bowl contenders with no Drew Brees. You worried about the damn 49ers. Forget the 49ers. They have a solid defensive line and a running game. They're playing smash mouth football. That'll end. Bro, you have 2 Super Bowl contenders, no Drew Brees, and the Saints are 3-1. You worried about the damn 49ers.
No, it's just the fact that they kept punting it out there that the lone unbeaten in the NFC is the 49ers. So if you was to look at the standings by conference, you will see the 49ers.
I remember that game against the Bucs to open the season. I watched the condensed game, and all I could think to myself is when you keep picking defensive linemen in the first round, something is bound to happen eventually. Armstead, Buckner, Bosa. So, hell, they could run a 3-4 with that line. Instead, they run a 4-3 and have some other guy out there just wreaking havoc as well. It's kind of nice to see because it seems like it should be so simple. Keep drafting defensive linemen and pass rushers and something good will happen. But apparently only Los Angeles. Los Angeles and San Francisco have been able to do it correctly.
So, yeah, the Cowboys effed up. The Seahawks effed up. We already took care of them. San Francisco's on the schedule still. At this moment in time, we don't know what to make of Atlanta right
I know what to make of Atlanta. Bro, it's a wrap. Unless their offense becomes Eric Coryell, chuck it to Julio and Ridley every play and just go for broke and just try to get chunk yards and field goals, I don't know. Dan Quinn is trying to win a balanced offense. I applaud the man for it, but you just paid a wide receiver $64 million guaranteed.
Minnesota's 2-2, but they got the 3rd best run offense.
Minnesota's 2-2, and the coach and wide receiver just called out the quarterback, and the quarterback said after looking at film, I must call myself out as well. So you say what you will about Minnesota.
They got the 3rd best rushing offense, and they 2-2.
It's a new NFL. We have the 6th best rushing offense.
The Bears on their backup quarterback, and they just their defense is just.
That is the championship defense. The sad thing is, granted, this is Chase Daniels in relief. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But, dude, that team might be better off with an established veteran who knows how to run an offense efficiently than a project quarterback who they're still trying to bring along. The thing with Mr. Trubisky is you drafted him 2nd overall. That's your quarterback until the option year comes up. Until that 5th year comes up, that's your guy. You picked him 2nd overall. But damn, that defense is ready to win now. And you don't have time to bring along a quarterback and let him go through his lumps when you have a defense like that.
Now, now to finish off this topic of the day, because that's just some of the frustration I got for you today. I ain't nowhere close to done yet. But Mason Rudolph and the Pittsburgh Steelers just beat the brakes off the Bengals on Monday Night Football. I actually had time to watch Raw most of the time because it was just a beating.
Yeah, no, I feel bad for Geno Atkins. When is Geno Atkins going to ask for a trade?
Mason Rudolph, 24 for 28, 229, 2 TDs. James Conner had 8 catches, 83 yards.
Like a star.
Mason Rudolph got his first win. Kyle Allen's on a 2-game win streak. Gardner Mitchell's on a 2-game win streak. Teddy Bridgewater's on a 2-game win streak.
So before we really do put the ball on it, Darnell, is this a sign of team building? Is this a sign of like actual front office like competency? Or after all these years, are these guys coming out of college? Are these guys that have found a way to stick around in the NFL? Do they actually know what the hell they're doing? I mean, when you look at the resumes coming out of college for Gardner, Mason Rudolph sitting behind a Hall of Famer, Teddy Bridgewater as a star. Like when you look at the resumes of some of these backups that are holding the fort down right now, it's like we shouldn't be surprised that they're efficiently managing games and keeping their teams in it. I think we've gotten so lulled by terrible ass backup quarterback play that we forgot that ideally you want a starting caliber quarterback as your backup. Because when your starter goes down, you still want to win.
Now we get to the real issue for today. There's a certain team out in sunny California, Southern California, if I'm being specific here. I believe that team played in the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Correct? Which means they won a conference, right? And they came into the season behind the New Orleans Saints and the Dallas Cowboys as favorites to win the conference.
Yeah, they did.
Correct? So they snuck by Cam Newton and the Panthers on the road opening week.
Mm-hmm.
No problem in that. It's opening week. Everybody's still trying to get their works cut in because most of the starters didn't play in preseason anyway. The New Orleans Saints came over to Los Angeles in a bit behind rematch, right? Drew Brees gets hurt. The team handled their business, correct? Go to Cleveland for Sunday Night Football. Cleveland ain't been on Sunday night in who knows how long. And they all the hype of the NFL. You handle business.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, hey.
Yeah, 3-0 coming home,
Very
right?
confident.
How in the blue hell does the Tampa Bay Buccaneers put up 55 points?
It's easy to get lulled to sleep when you find a way to win games early in the season and you overlook your biggest problems.
You gonna sit here and tell me the goddamn Los Angeles Rams lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 55?
You're overlooking
my damn quarterback turned the ball over 4 times, and my defense stopped nobody. Because Chris Godwin comes out, just catches the ball 12 times for 172 and 2 touchdowns with no problem. Why are we playing catch up to a quarterback who is the most turnover quarterback ever? Oh, by the way, that same quarterback didn't even turn the ball over. No, he turned it over once late in the game. And he actually gave the back in the game. And what do? We let Mike Evans go down the field for a touchdown. Where is my offensive line at? Damn, Todd Gurley, is he all right? No, what the hell's my offensive line?
Well, I mean, your man.
Why is my offensive line getting whipped every damn play?
5-17 on 68 attempts. They were there. I mean, they were there.
I know some of y'all was on Facebook, like, I ain't gonna call no names, but one of our former teachers was on Facebook. It's a new season. I don't want to hear it's a new damn season.
Oh, shout out to Mr. Feliz.
This is the same damn team that went to the goddamn Super Bowl. Only difference is we don't got Ndamukong Suh. Oh, by the way, who picked up from Jared Goff and decided to take it to the house to make it.
That man is a mercenary. No loyalty.
Shaq Barry, whoever he is beating the brace off my tackle here because he is batting Jared Goff.
Hey, you be respectful. He has 9 sacks in 4 games. You be respectful, good sir. He's doing way more production than your guy.
Where did he come from?
Tampa.
What is and you know what? Thursday night, we going to Seattle. And you would think I feel real good about going to Seattle after what we did to them the last 2 times.
You got to throw 70 times with Jared Goff.
But we just got blitzkrieg by the damn Tampa Bay Buccaneers out of all the goddamn teams. I'm not happy here. Now I know how Stephen A. feels. This is not what we signed up for.
Wow, he's a Rams fan and he says this.
Y'all better get it together and do what y'all got to do in Seattle.
How long have you been a Rams fan, Darnell? You're acting like, I think you're overreacting here a little bit. You paid a quarterback $113 million guaranteed. He threw the ball 68 times, got you 40 points and 500 yards passing. What more do you want? Marcus Peters.
Before he even got to the 502 damn touchdowns, he already had 3 picks.
He threw the ball 68 times. I don't even know what the percentage ratio is for that, but it's pretty decent when you consider the fact that he threw 2 games worth of passes and won.
It's quite easy when you help contribute to the other team scoring 55 points when you turn the ball over twice and they scored on every possession.
Well, that would help if that one guy who was like the talk of the league last season could either get healthy or tell your coach to give him the ball. Great players, great skill position players, do not just wait for their coach to dial them up. Everybody gets mad at wide receivers for being divas, for being high maintenance. But when a wide receiver says, give me the damn ball, you give them the ball 22 times for 200 yards and however many touchdowns Brandon Marshall had that day. When a great running back says, I'll carry the team on my back, coach, give me the rock, you give him the ball for 29 times so he can rush for 225 and keep you in field goal position at all times. Todd Gurley should not have to sit there and wait for Sean McVay, the offensive genius, the wonder kid, to say, hey, I started you. We're telling the media you're healthy. We're telling the media everything is fine, so we have a decision to make. Because Jared Goff just went out there and threw the ball 68 friggin' times for 517 yards. We put up 40 points and we lost by 15. So something has to change because, brother, you're right, Darnell. Throwing picks are bad. Giving the team extra possessions are bad. But having a star running back that you're only going to give the ball 5 times to, but then keep telling the media like they're idiots, like they're just a bunch of entertainment journalists that got stuck on the football beat, that he's healthy and everything is fine, there's a problem when a coach is either too defensive or too offensive. The offensive coaches want to put up points. They want to gain yards. They want to be high-flying and innovative. And then they forget that it helps your defense a lot when you run the ball and keep the ball out of the other team's hands. That is what is happening with Sean McVay right now. You're not using Todd Gurley as a receiver. You're not using him as your feature back. You're sitting there and trying to make this investment look good. And you got your asses handed to you by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they came all the way from the Tampa Bay area and hung up with no jet lag.
This is the same Tampa Bay team who was at home the week before. Had an 18-point lead on a rookie quarterback making his first start ever in the NFL and blew it. This is the same Tampa Bay team that beat the Rams sleep. And y'all think I'm overreacting? And y'all everybody want me to go? Hell no, I ain't coming down.
Todd Bowles and Bruce Arians coached a hell of a game on Sunday. They outcoached Sean McVay. So much so to the point that I bring back up the Super Bowl and I bring back up the points and commentary that I said in the preseason. I am starting to get worried when Jared Goff's incompetent, bad investment ass can carry the team as much as possible, put up 517, throw it 68 times, and not look at the sideline and say, what the hell are you doing? I'm getting killed out here. The quarterback is trying to do his job. He's just towing the company line. The coach got outcoached by a guy who was retired and a guy who we were wondering why the hell was he in the NFL the way he coached the Jets franchise for a couple of years. Those two guys took your man to work.
Jared Goff. You probably won't never hear this podcast. But it's some miracle happens and you do. No, you do. Because the defensive coordinators, they figured you out.
517. What?
They figured you out. They figured you out in this sense.
No running game.
Williams couldn't do it because the other guy that's in this equation wasn't playing. They know if they guess correctly on who's the primary receiver is, the next up is find number 18. Because if they find number 18, they know that's what the ball goes.
517 and 40 points. What? Todd Bowles survived. What? Okay. You're an angry Rams fan today, and that's okay. You got to get it out, and this is your muse. This is your safe space. But to just, mind you, you are the guy who was going to have to convince me why your team should be the one picked. This is not the same Rams from last year. And that's not to say that the Rams from last year were really that great. If Aaron Donald is producing like Aaron Donald was last year, this Rams team is not that much different from the other Rams team.
I'm tired of everybody calling out Aaron Donald. Yes, he was one of the best players in the league. I get that. But Marcus Brockers, where you at? Dante Fowler Jr., where you at? Clay Matthews, where you at?
Well, I could tell you why Dante Fowler is not nowhere to be found. And I can also kind of give you a hint on why Clay Matthews is nowhere to be found. This is not 2009.
I don't want to hear that, Clay. Aaron Donald's getting double and two between his. Somebody has one-on-one, or somebody's coming free.
It's called the 3-4 defense, champ. You ask Wade Phillips why he has Aaron Donald in a position where he is to be double-teamed. You're not scheming Aaron Donald for one-on-ones at all. You want a 6'1" on a great day.
Matter of fact, it's gonna be a pretty long episode because I'm getting all this out. Nick Carroll, Chris Godwin took your ass to school.
Oh, hey, isn't that the one that had the blatant pass interference?
Yes, that's the same one. Chris Godwin.
You had a whole preseason and a whole draft to fix that situation? Again, coaching.
Nick Carroll, you have never got whooped like this.
Oh, well.
You usually dominate the slot. How dare you couldn't dominate Chris Godwin? Khalid did what he could. So Marcus Peters is the one who got burnt on the long touchdown pass to Mike Evans. But he made it up, but he took a pick six all the way back. So you can cancel those two out. What's left? 12 catches, 72 yards, 2 touchdowns, Chris Godwin. So guess who's gonna be in the slot for Thursday Night Football?
Who is gonna be in the slot for Thursday Night Football?
Tyler Lockett.
Oh, well, you have fun with that, champ. Have fun with that, Chief.
Y'all get it together.
No, it was we, not was y'all. Okay.
Defending NFC champions. Start acting like it.
Oh, God. Got to wait in Florida State.
Now, let me decompress now. Because all that needs to come out. Because I say they handled their business against the Browns doesn't mean I wasn't mad. I was disgusted about that game. But me once I let it slide. So this is actually frustration from 2 games.
Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? It's a long process. It's a hard thought out process. Yeah, I know. I was there from March of this year, thinking about how I'm going to do this, doing all my research, trying to get everything right. What platforms can we use and how we going to record it and how we going to make it sound good and make it all this happen. And then I came upon Anchor, the Anchor app on my phone, the easiest choice I could ever make to do a podcast. It's free to use. You don't gotta pay for nothing. You can record episodes whenever you're ready. You can edit it, and then you can release them when you want to. And you don't have to worry about trying to figure out how you're going to distribute it on other platforms, because Anchor has partnerships with Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Castbox, Pocket Cast, whatever you name it. Because the Playmakers Ball podcast is the podcast that I use. We are on all them platforms. We are on 9 platforms just by using the Anchor app. So pretty much all the questions that you have questions about doing a podcast, go to the Anchor app or go to the Anchor website, anchor.fm.com, and just search through it, ask questions. Because I'll tell you, a free app that does all this, there's nothing more you can ask for. I even got friends, they doing their podcast on the Anchor app. Faith Talk, you might have heard of it because it's very good. And it's great that it's an app like this, it's a website like this that makes it easier for people to do podcasts and do what they love best, talking about the things that they love to talk about. So give Anchor a try, see how much you like it. We'll love to hear your podcast.
So now, I'm down 4 games there at Dallas.
4?
What
the hell did you do?
You know why? Because somebody actually picked Tennessee. To my displeasure, I'm like, he actually picked Tennessee.
Because I don't go emotional. That's your problem. I told you a T all last season what your problem was.
He picked Tennessee. I'm like,
Because I'm a journalist and not a media personality.
And then I actually picked Minnesota. And if you would have sat here and told us that Chicago Bears was going to lose Mitchell Trubisky in the first half, that might would have got a little worried. Because that means a defensive battle and some offense is going to have to do something. Khalil Mack and that damn defense just shut them down completely.
As a Jaguars fan, I can respect the team that's defense can carry them the long way.
And as Dallas said, Kirk Cousins even had to call himself out. That tells you everything. Thanks to the Pittsburgh Steelers, it was only 4 games because it could have been 5.
I picked the Bengals. Damn.
So I'm down. Yes.
Okay.
That's your effed up other week. But I can't even pick on it because I'm so freaking frustrated right now. Nonetheless, let's go ahead. Week 6. I don't say this so many damn times. Thursday night football. Seattle, Washington, the Los Angeles Rams, and the Seattle Seahawks get together for the first time this season. You don't need to hear from me because you know who I'm picking, despite all my frustration.
You know, it's weird because, it could be Chris Carson or it could be Russell Wilson. That defense is struggling in the run and the pass. This Rams defense that had so much production and so much talent and big names everywhere got into a lot of shootouts last year. This is not recency bias. This is looking at the fact that Seattle led the league in rushing last year. It's still a solid rushing team, and Russell Wilson, well, he realizes that he will be a good investment for his team. Whether Seattle does it through the air or the ground, it won't matter. I think Seattle will find a way. I don't think Tampa's the wake-up game because, Darnell, the players on the field are not the ones that need to wake up. It does not make any sense to have a superstar, an NFL icon that you keep clearing to play, that the doctors keep clearing to play, that is wearing pads and suiting up, and you do not feed him the rock to at least make the play action seem realistic. 69 passing attempts in one game when you have a superstar running back is asinine and absurd. I
really wish they could hit this podcast because you doing the classic. Show me before I pick you.
The legit. The Los Angeles Rams are legit. The problem is, though, Sean McVay. Sean McVay drunk his own Kool-Aid too damn much. And Sean McVay is thinking to himself, we scored 40, passed for over 500. The defense allowed 55. When you have a head coach that is going to do the same damn thing. When you have a head coach that sends his running back out there to do media and the running back has to field all these dumbass questions about carries and availability and how he feels about it, yeah, the reporters have to ask the question. But, bro, big scheme of things, you have your star running back out there to the media answering questions about his usage and how he feels about it after you put up 40 points in 500. You have so many things wrong. And you guys are probably going to go right back out there with Jadeveon Clowney and Ziggy Ansah and whoever else wants to rush the passer that day and throw it another 45 times.
He doesn't matter. They got Jadeveon Clowney.
You drop back 40-plus times if you want to, Darnell. You have absolutely no balance or whatever. You be the innovative, high-flying offense if you want to. But if that defense can't stop the run, if Tyler Lockett gets open on play actions out the slot, you're going to have a long day because your coach refuses to give a damn about anything else but the passing game. Even the running game is to set up the passing game.
We beat them twice in a row in Seattle. We have owned them for the last 2 seasons.
And they were shootouts both times.
Actually, no, they wasn't. One was a damn blowout in Seattle. The worst beating in the Pete Carroll era at home.
So you're doing.
I remember that game because that's when everybody really started noticing Sean McVay. Because you just went up to Seattle and you just beat them to sleep.
Again, Seattle, rebuilding year. Russell Wilson, 140. Got that money for a reason. You can keep looking at the past all you want. I know you're a Rams fan. I know that you hope that last week was your wake-up game. But I'm telling you, it is not the players on the field that need to wake up. And as the season goes along, this young cat who had a lot of early success but is dedicated to passing forever, football players who know their film, who know their history, are going to look and think to themselves, there is another coach who is dedicated to putting up immense passing yards and single season records. There was another coach that was dedicated to the big play and having the quarterback win or lose the game for the team. And his name was Don Coryell. And he should be in the Hall of Fame. And his offense is one of the 4 main schemes to this day. Don Coryell is a legend, but he didn't get a ring. And as great as the Air Coryell offense is, there is a reason why you do not get a ring with that offense. And Sean McVay is probably going to prove it in Seattle.
Rams, y'all better show up Thursday night. And now, just seeing what happened in Indianapolis last week, our first learning game features a certain team out in Oakland, featuring a team that's filled with a player that used to play from Oakland, and Daniel had the same amount of success the whole team did last year. Derek Carr, your old teammate Khalil Mack's finna destroy you over it.
Damn. That's how we feeling?
Oh yeah, I'm expecting a Green Bay stat: 2 sacks, the interception, forced fumble recovery, and a defensive touchdown. Not going to see this. You traded me away, and this what you get. Chase Daniels being the quarterback and all, don't matter. If Oakland score 10, I'll be surprised.
And that ball off to Josh Jacobs, that's why you drafted him, because Derek Carr is not going to be able to just sit back and throw it 30 times. He is going to need balance. Lean on that rookie. Use the CBA to your advantage. I know it sounds terrible. I know I'm a dick to say it, but in a game like this, with the closest thing we've had to Lawrence Taylor, run the ball. Run the ball. Give the play action a chance. Because if Khalil Mack sees you in shotgun and knows that it's 3rd and 12, it's not going to end well.
Oh, it don't even matter. That front line is ridiculous. The linebackers are ridiculous. And the secondary is ridiculous. All levels of that damn defense are ridiculous. For the sake of the fact that John Gruden, hopefully, is not going to just sit there and lay down and say, this is one of the L's I marked up on the schedule. That's how the Oakland Raiders are going to win the game. Josh Jacobs is going to have a phenomenal performance. He's going to have to rush for at least 80.
And they're going to have to give him the ball at least 20 times to give him a chance to crack it. Because
80? Has anybody worse for 80 in use this defense this season?
That's a good question. Because 80 is the new 100 with this new passing scheme and everything. Like, we forget that a lot of the 100-yard games now are all-purpose yards. There ain't a lot of running backs having pure – it's Dalvin Cook and Leonard Fournette. Dalvin Cook, Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey might get you 90 or 100 rushing, but he also has 60 receiving. So, I mean –
anyway,
we're picking Chicago.
Right? Now, to be fair, I had to do this for you, Dallas, because I've got to be admitted, it's an interesting matchup. Gardner Minshew and the Jaguars are taking on Kyle Allen and the Panthers up in Carolina. Yes. How you feeling?
This is an interesting matchup to me because Josh Dobbs is getting first reps, but that's just because Gardner's injured. They're trying to take it slow and, preserve their quarterback because I'd be damned in Jaguars fashion if two starters go down the same season. But, they're taking it slow. They're whatever, what can you do? But the Carolina Panthers defensive line, Kawan Short just went on IR. Their D-line is to be respected, but there's a lot of age on it. That's a veteran defensive line. That's a defensive line with Ron Rivera, the GM, were probably looking together and they were saying, if we're going to save some salary cap, we might be able to do it here. Luke Kuechly is Luke Kuechly, but as we've seen since the second half of last season, Darnell, having a Mike linebacker that can rack you up 20 tackles a game isn't what it used to be. Luke Kuechly's on a damn island out there. So when I think of a quarterback who can improvise, when I think of an aged defensive line that, they might get theirs every once in a while, but I lean towards the Jaguars if Gardner can start because the weapons are staying healthy. What got the Jaguars last year was the offense was crumbling by the end of the second month. I think Kyle Allen not being able to put up a touchdown against Houston says a lot, even though he was able to get the win. I think this game goes a lot different.
So, do I pick Gardner Minshew, Leonard Fournette to take down the NFC South? Or do I go Kyle Allen, the Carolina Panthers, to go 2-0 on the AFC South?
It is interesting. 2 first-round feature backs and backup quarterbacks going at it.
Respectable defense on both ends.
Dude, we're twins. It's you can see why the Carolina Panthers and Jacksonville Jaguars are literally twins. The team.
Oh, by the way, if any of you Jaguars fans have been living on the route for a while because you were so happy about the win, there's no trade going to happen for Jalen Ramsey.
Darnell, I'm going to level with you right now because I'm pretty sure you living in Jacksonville should know this already, but nobody talks about us but us. We were the first ones to know that.
Will he still be fully invested? He ain't playing last week. Back injury, all this other stuff. So let's see. You know what? I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers.
The smart pick. Because Christian McCaffrey's been able to produce whenever he wanted to produce for the most part.
It's going to be interesting what the stat line going to look like for Myles Jack and Luke Kuechly.
Oh, yeah. That is definitely. Quincy Williams has been the force in the run game. He's been the one. Myles Jack is playing out of position, but, they see something in him at Mike. So he's still at Mike. But, yeah, it is going to be interesting that Mike linebacker battle because Myles Jack should have the better day because he can actually cover. Myles Jack will have an easier time covering Christian McCaffrey than Luke Kuechly will if the offensive line can get to the second level.
Our American game of the week, 4:00 hour. That bad man, Aaron Rodgers. He's going to a place that he loves so much, Dallas. He's going to Jerry's World to take on the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. By the way, both teams coming out disappointing primetime losses. Goddamn, got Coach T texting me because y'all couldn't finish the damn deal with the Philadelphia Eagles. after Devontae Adams was going for 200 yards. That man, the Cowboys ain't do a damn thing.
Couldn't run the ball.
But play defense. So, Dallas, Prescott, or Mr. Rogers?
Well, Darnell, I think it comes down to this. I think it's more Zeke or Mr. Rogers, because everybody knew that the Cowboys were having a soft schedule. And Dak Prescott looked good, and ESPN did the nice little graphics on their SportsCenter pages. But, everybody kind of knew what was going to be up. Everybody knows what has been up. And it's one game, but at the same time, it's like, bro, come on, be real. Zeke Elliott got paid. The right tackle got paid. The defensive end got paid. The middle linebacker got paid. Amari Cooper probably going to be on this team because he isn't a Cowboy from birth. You the franchise quarterback and you still ain't been paid yet. I think there's a reason for that. So I would say it's more Zeke or Aaron Rodgers because let's be honest, Darnell, the Green Bay Packers, since they won that Super Bowl, have been the same team. Shotgun, Aaron throws it 50 times. And they had a chance last week if it wasn't for, the fact that Aaron had to throw it 50 times. I trust Aaron more than I trust Zeke in this situation because, hell, Zeke can only do so much. If you put 10 in the box, we've seen that Zeke could be taken out the game. He got taken out of the game by your Rams in last year's playoffs. So if Dak Prescott has to sit back and throw it 50 times against Aaron Rodgers throwing it 50 times, I don't think he can do it. I mean, I think that last week's game was the perfect chance for Kellen Moore and that offense to show that they are legit, they are contenders, and they can do what they want against anybody. I don't really care if Zeke goes over 100 this game because the Packers' run defense might just be that bad. The thing will be the Packers are going to be able to score quicker. That's just the thing. The Packers are going to be able to score quicker. I think that the Eagles game, they had their wake-up game like a couple of weeks ago. I think that team realizes what they have to do. So I'm going to go with the Packers.
Yep. These games come down to the wire. Dak Prescott and sit there and do their thing. But Aaron Rodgers always one of them every time. I think it's been an old season when they haven't played each other. So I don't think they played each other last.
Has it really been since the catch?
No, it's when that playoff game in Jerry's. Remember the Cowboys was the top seed in the NFC. Green Bay had to come to them. Aaron Rodgers threw that stupid behind crazy pass that Jared Cook caught on the sideline, and somehow it was still in bounds. Sending the Cowboys home. They went on to the NFC Championship game before they got taken out by Atlanta. That's the last memory of Aaron Rodgers against the Cowboys. Which team had a wake-up call, the Cowboys or the Packers?
Because here's the crazy thing, Darnell. The Saints scored 12 points, and all of them were field goals. So, again, much like I said earlier with a certain team, the Cowboys have shifted from the Tony Romo era to being a run-the-ball-and-play defense team. They held the Saints to 4 field goals. Technically, Cowboys did their job. They might have lost to a better team. Do you wake up from that? Or do you think it's business as usual? Because it's a huge moral victory, Darnell, to hold the Saints to 12 points. Drew Brees or not.
I'm taking the Cowboys. I know it's
Is there a spread?
I don't even know. Hold on. I know it's shocking people. I usually pick against the Cowboys.
Usually against the Patriots.
I'm going with the Cowboys. I used to pick against the Cowboys, too. You should actually go back and look at all our picks. You really don't know it. I'm really almost like Stephen A. Smith. The laughter I get to listen to him when the Cowboys.
Man, that last thing he did when he came on the cowboy hat and started dancing, that was nice.
Oh, he be talking like a cowboy on the show now. When they talk about the Cowboys, it's hilarious. 3.5 Cowboys.
Wow. So field goal. Okay. Well, that sounds about right.
Sunday Night Football. Jacoby Brissett and the Indianapolis Colts taking a trip to a place they haven't had fun at in a while. This time it won't be snowing though, but it's still Arrowhead in Kansas City. And I'm just going to say I'm picking Kansas City because the fact that Patrick Mahomes didn't throw a touchdown and they still beat Detroit, that's scary.
Patrick Mahomes had a game where he didn't throw a touchdown against an NFC team that nobody thinks is going to compete. I feel bad for whoever the hell has to cover whoever the hell.
So, yeah. The coach, y'all better get ready because I think I took that ass with me against Oakland. Y'all got to play this team next, and they didn't throw a touchdown pass. Yeah, be ready.
Hot damn. And wait. Who's playing who again?
The Colts and the Chiefs.
Well, AFC South. Time for somebody to figure it out. I don't know who it'll be, but we know the Colts ain't going to win.
And the spread is 11 Kansas City.
Somebody is going to be ahead in the AFC South by the end of this week, and it ain't going to be Indiana.
Monday Night Football, the Cleveland Browns after what they did to Baltimore. Mm-hmm. Jesus. Nick Chubb ran all over the red.
Oh, God.
I'm going to say that again. Nick Chubb went all over the red.
His brother was having a good day, too, until the end.
They are in San Fran to take on the only unbeaten team in the goddamn.
And that defensive line. The Browns.
Yeah, San Francisco 49ers.
The Browns. While we talk about Baker Mayfield rolling to the right and getting beat quick, while we talk about Odell Beckham Jr. getting choked out like he's into that sort of thing, and while we talk about Freddie Kitchens finally giving the damn halfback the ball, we forget something, Darnell, because it's not the cool thing to talk about. It's not the fun thing to talk about in the era of passing and big hits and all that good stuff. The offensive line. They traded away their best offensive lineman for, is this right, Olivier Vernon? I don't know what he's been doing this season, but he has not replaced the value that young man had.
He's talking about playing for the Giants.
No, I'm talking about Vernon. Wait, so what they trade the offensive lineman for?
Olivier Vernon's with the Giants.
So wait.
Joe Staley, I don't know where he at. Because he might be still with the 49ers.
No, I'm not talking about Joe Staley. I'm talking about the Cleveland Browns offensive lineman that they traded during the offseason.
Good question.
Okay, either way, he's gone. And Baker keeps having to roll out and force the ball and all that good stuff because the line's breaking down. Dare I damn say, Freddie Kitchens said, F it, I'm running the ball because he was tired of his quarterback getting killed and criticized by wide receivers taking college classes. I mean, if you've been having trouble with an underperforming Rams line, if you were having trouble with Tennessee's defensive line that is carried by Jarrell Casey in the middle, if you've been, I don't know, that defensive line is a humongous part of why the San Francisco 49ers have had this start. People are going to point to the fact that they got a three-headed monster in the running game. People are going to point to the fact that they have a porn star killer for a quarterback who is doing everything wrong and nothing right. But, dude, porn star Jimmy the Kid.
As you can see, Stephen A. is all up in his podcast.
Hey, he in San Francisco and found him one. Good on that man. But, hey, I mean, dude, the defensive line in the NFL, no matter what era it is, no matter what legislation, no matter what rules, you go back to the Deacon Jones days when they weren't recording sacks. If you can get to the quarterback, if you can tackle the quarterback, if you can tackle the running back in the backfield, you don't have to get a pick. You don't have to get a fumble recovery. You're good. Because if it's 2nd and 16, if it's 3rd and 11, you're probably forcing a punt. And it's the simplest way to win football games. The easiest way to win a football game is to just go all in on the 3 or 4 men that are going to put their hand down against the other team's 5.
So basically, he's taking San Francisco, ladies and gentlemen.
Because they are going to stop the run, and Baker's going to have fun rolling to the right.
Because I know all y'all saying is like, who is he picking? He's picking San Francisco. So your dismay and surprise, I'm picking San Francisco. I'm going with my Rams. He's picking Seattle. We both going to Chicago to destroy Oakland over in London. I'm going Kyle Allen. He's going with his Gardner Minshew's. I'm going Dak Prescott. He's going Aaron Rodgers. And yeah, Sunday night, the Colts. Yeah, have fun in Kansas City. Cleveland, have fun in San Francisco. That's all we got to say on that one. Now, as we get ready to close out this episode, ladies and gentlemen, we are one quarter of the season away. One quarter of the season is down, Dallas. We are in the month of October. Get everything in order because the pennant race in baseball is beginning. You got hockey season finna start. And then going towards the end of the month, basketball season will be starting for the NBA.
Everybody will start undefeated, but nobody will have a chance.
So, get your stuff in order because we are in conference playing college football, and it's going to get really good. So, check out the college podcast, and hopefully my Gators will put up a good showing against Auburn, win or lose. Because this game can go either way. And then it's off to Death Valley to take on the Tigers of LSU.
Townsend was fun.
So yeah, I got a rough stretch coming up. Hopefully my Rams can ease the pain by beating.
That would suck. You go back to back on Sundays and Saturdays. Jesus Christ.
So that's all we got for you. You can always follow the podcast. You can subscribe to the podcast. Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, and all. You on just about all the platforms.
And really, to make it even easier for you, just follow us on Twitter at PlaymakersThe. Capital P, capital T, and do you some scrolling. We like to pin tweets. We like to tweet incessantly. We like to put up polls. So just accidentally while you're enjoying the content and my witty banter, along with Darnell's straight man you'll find an episode. Just try it out. You'll like it, I promise.
So with that being said, from here to the Playmakers Blog Podcast, enjoy your football weekend. And those of you from wrestling, enjoy, because it's a new era of wrestling that we are.
As of the time of this recording, I take that with a pinch of salt, because we have seen what happened on Monday. By now, full disclosure, we are hoping that Wednesday and Friday change.
Have a good week.
Yeah.